friends, welcome. What'd you think of my little intro? I decided I didn't need a countdown, but why not have a little intro, right? So let's craft with Cheryl. I'm Cheryl. Welcome to my class. Thursday nights are a class all about a bundle or all about a stamp set or all about a technique. Tonight, the class is about the Relaxing Waterside. It's a part of a suite, so I get the names all mixed up, but that's what it's about. And, oh, I forgot my extra papers. Here I was working on other things. I got them already here, though. I think I got them all. I do. All right, let me share my other camera. And we'll get started. Be sure to say hello in the comments. I would love to see who's here and chatting with me tonight. These are not in any particular order. That's all right. So we do have the online exclusives that are available. And this is where we have the Pooh Bear Suite, the Silly Old Bear Suite collection that is available only in the United States. And some other fun products. This is going to be a class soon. Yeah. Tonight, I am working in the Waterside Retreat. Like I said, these are not in the order that I would have had them in, but this is the way they are. Well, we're just going to look it up. Here's our nice little index. And we need Waterside Retreat, page 20. So this is what we're talking about tonight. Waterside Retreat. If you go to order it with the bundle number, it'll tell you it's not available. That's because the anchors are out of stock, but you can order anything else you're interested in. I would love to be your demonstrator if you don't already have one. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Crystal. All right. Stampin' Cross Country is an online virtual retreat that is coming up toward the end of June, and registration is open now. We would love to have you join us. And you can find out all the information you need at craftwithcheryl.com. There are 5 presenters, and we start crafting days before the event, and we carry right through Friday night, Saturday, and then into a free event about scrapbooking on Sunday. So, like I said, it's at craftwithcheryl.com. Let's go ahead. Oh, I did that backwards. All right. So, new starter kit offers, you get a little bit more. The deal is a little sweeter this month. You get the ink pads, and in addition to your $125 worth of product for $99. And product of the month. So, if you have a $75 order, the product of the month this month is this beautiful vellum. I'm going to be noisy for a second. Let me go back to my comments. This just came. I have not opened the pack yet, so. But, ooh, it's very thick. Very thick. Pretty vellum. Ooh, I see some fun card making in my future. My box arrived yesterday, but I've been working on today's class, and I had grandbabies all day yesterday, so there we go. So this is the vellum. Like I said, it's very thick, and you can get this for $5 with a $75 order. Again, I would love to be your demonstrator. You can order from me at stampinup.com and pick me as your demonstrator. All right. Let's get started. I have a good problem. I usually start with a really simple card, and then they get a little bit harder. Well, I started off with a simpler card, and by the end of it, it was a fun fold too. So I have 3 fun folds tonight. Yay! So I'm going to start with, I think, the simpler of the 3, but you know me, once I get into it, sometimes they're not as simple as I thought. Here's the stamp set. Here are the dies. And we're going to go ahead and get started with the card base. Now, I already did some cutting. So I took the, oh, my dog is outside barking. I took the Everyday Arches bundle, and I did the largest in, sorry, the dog is distracting me, cloud cover. And I did the second largest, and I took this beautiful piece and I cut the dock out of it. Speaking of which, I didn't show you the paper. Probably the dog's probably barking at deer. So one of the papers, and I already have mine all chopped up, so this is from a new pack, has all these different scenes and tags and all kinds of stuff. And I could do cards with this forever. So that's the one for the front because I already chopped it apart. But see, this is the best one I have. And we have stripes and birds, seagulls. We were on stage, somebody called them garbage chickens. So that's what I think of when I see seagulls anymore. Some wood and some dock paraphernalia, some fish and some waves, and some bicycles. I thought about using the bicycles. Oh, I know what I forgot to grab. All right. I'm going to turn around and grab something. And if it's not there, I guess we're not going to talk about it. But I think it is here. I hope it's here. Nope, it's not. Maybe it's here. Oh, here we go. This is just to show off. Stampin' Up! Is so good at their coordinating. This is the popcorn. I'm glad I didn't try to sell that one. This is the stamp set and cards for Paper Pumpkin last month. They coordinated with this kit. Isn't that fun? So if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can get the refill kits. If you're not, you need to get to be a subscriber. Anyway, those are it. I just ordered some more refill kits because I have a plan with some of mine, but I wanted to show you how well they coordinated. Hi, Glenda. All right, so back to our project. This is going to be the inside of my card. This is the largest Everyday Arches die and cloud cover. This is this panel out of the DSP, and this piece is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. Got it. Got it, got it, got it. I hope. This is the one that was supposed to be simple and turned into a fun fold. That's okay. You know what? Some days we just have to have some fun. All right. I got that scored there. I'm not going to go ahead. I'm not going to score this one right here. Right now, I'm going to set those aside and grab a piece of white. And I need to make a chair. So I have some of the die cutting done, some of it doesn't. Oh, that kit from Paper Pumpkin is so neat. I could incorporate some of those stamps because I am definitely keeping it. Some of the Paper Pumpkin kits I sell. So if you fall in love with one and you didn't get it, let me know because I might have it. Sometimes I skip them. I skipped this month's, but I will definitely be getting next month's. Get the stickies off. Grab my scrap paper. And I'm still using Memento. I know. I haven't bit the bullet to go with the other. Ooh, that's inking up nice. All right. And there's my white. I know I could be doing this on a colored, but I'm not. I'm doing it on white. I think these are called Adirondack chairs, if I'm not mistaken. So sometimes if you just let it sit for a minute, it just inks up so nice. This is a big stamp, so you need a bigger block. Ooh, isn't that pretty? All right, now I need some browns. I'll do some pecan pie, some bronze. Anyway, I'm glad you all made it. Anybody have any big plans for the weekend? I don't. It's Memorial Day weekend, and I have no plans. We are almost done seeding wheat. After the horrible wind last weekend, though, I think my boys will have to seed some of the fields again because the seed in the dirt and all that blew around so much that it's not where it's supposed to be. It blew some of the seed away and all that nonsense. So we are currently praying for rain. So pray for rain for Eastern Montana, please. All right. Did I miss somebody? Crystal, Nancy, Glenda, me. And this is not gonna, I'm gonna have to get a new pecan pie out for my brush tip. That's okay. I will use it up. It just takes me longer this way. I could have done another color, but I could have left it white, couldn't I? Dang. Ah, I've seen these in white before. I messed up. Oh well, it's going to be brown. Pecan pie. This is one of the sets that we are using for Stampin' Cross Country. We would love to have you join us. You get a full weekend plus extra things during the week before, like bingo with prizes and all kinds of fun stuff. And the whole event is $99. And you can do it without getting the retreat box in the mail. You can do just the virtual, meaning you get to be a part of everything, but you don't have a fun kit show up on your door. But if you have all the supplies at your house already, and you don't mind missing out on some of the treats, that would be a way to go too. Stampin' Cross Country registration closes toward the end of May. And digital, the online only, closes right before the event. All right, there's my chair that I probably didn't have to color. Well, maybe I'll do some bronze. Give it just a little more texture here and there. I think you have to buy bronze as a set now. I don't know. All right. There we go. And I want to thank you all. Even if you're on Facebook or YouTube, I am reaching milestones on both platforms, and I am so excited. I am almost to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Yay! And almost to 2,000 followers on Facebook. And I couldn't have done it without you. So thank you all so very much for sharing and commenting and all the things. I appreciate it. This is a big for all of us. All right, so I need this die. Okay. And before I do that, is there anything else I want to stamp? Maybe do we want a book? I could do a book at the same time. I have birds and books and more birds. Coffee cup. I might just stick with a book. Glenda asked me, do I have any idea why Stampin' Up! What did away with the Memento ink? Apparently the hybrid ink has been on the drawing board for some time. And Memento comes from, it's imported, and I think they were having issues getting it in because I think it's made in Japan and they kept having more issues, and they just kept pushing up their development. Oh, it's made in Vietnam. So they put it in development so you didn't have to have both types of ink, Memento and StazOn. If you just had the one kind, then they only had to deal with the one type of ink. And I think that's the story. Hi, Carol. All right, let me get rid of that. You enjoyed watching come up with ideas for the stamp sets? Yay! All right, I need this. Why do I keep putting it back? Because I'm talking and all that stuff. All right, there's my Post-it note tape. I have a storefront at Amazon now. It is linked at craftwithcheryl.com. So if you want the Post-it note tape or the flossers or any of those things I have talked to you about, you can just go get them anytime you want to click the link. And it's all there for you. You don't have to go digging around for it anymore. I'm going to color this later because I don't know what color I want it to be. I'm thinking blue. Lots of blues tonight. All right, that's that. And we're going to get the die cut machine out. And we're going to go for it. Then we're going to put this together because this is my simple card. Remember? Yeah, my simple card. The excitement around here is we had really, really bad internet. DSL, horrible. And then earlier this year, we went with satellite. So we have Starlink now. And the last few days, they've been around our house putting in fiber. So we might go from bad to great to greater. I don't know. So we're pretty excited. I don't know when it'll all be done, but I love Starlink. I don't think I got this video up high enough quality, but it'll be okay. I'll have to fix it another day. But so that's our big news. That government program that gets even rural places internet is what we're getting it from. But I think that was like 3 presidents ago. But we're finally getting it. All right. Okay. So here we have all of our pieces again. And I'm going to take this piece and this piece. And I'm actually going to bump it down to the bottom. I thought about centering it, but I'm going to bump it down to the bottom because of the nature of this set. All the cards are kind of scenery pictures. So that's what we're running with. That's what I'm running with. All right. And it is time for my allergy pill, and I don't have one down here. So I'm just going to have to watch me itch my nose. it just gets itchy. All right, all the way to the bottom. And centered would be nice. Get those glue wrinkles out. Get my brayer out. Okay. Now this piece is going to go on this piece. Nope, it has to stay there. Now, this is the piece that has the score line in the middle. So I am going to carefully add glue below the score line and not to the edge. That's me being tricky. I am going to give it the border though. And yes, I'm upside down. I'm going to give it the border. All right, this is going to be an Easel card. Hi, Charlie. Oh, I don't have drips very often. I just get itchy. All right. There's that. Now we have our chair. I thought our chair could sit on the end of the dock. Isn't that pretty good? All right. And I personally don't need any Father's Day cards. Sadly, my father passed away, 12 years ago. So I don't know that I'm going to turn any of mine into Father's Day cards. I don't know that I'll get them to a place to sell them by Father's Day. So we might just leave the inside open. So if somebody wants to put Happy Father's Day, they can. All right. I got the arm down. Got some dimensionals. There we go. And I don't want it in the water. Gonna have to move it over so it's not in the water. There we go. Should have had it go on the other side, but I like this more than the boat that was over here. All right. Now this one, yep, we'll have a blue book. Lost Lagoon. It's close enough. Right? Lost Lagoon's close enough to these colors to look different, but blend in. All right. Pretty cool. I can put the book on the armrest. Maybe on that one. We'll use some tear and tape. It's a cute card so far. I haven't even shown you the fun part yet. My tear and tape. Oh, you know what? I have a piece to use up right next to me. Did I remember that? Nope. I tried to make each card just use a little bit different pieces. I try to do that every week so that you're not getting the same thing. And none of these cards are like the ones for Stampin' Cross Country. So if you want to see even more with this set, you have to join Stampin' Cross Country. Right? Okay, now we have some. I did do some stamping ahead of time. We have some grass that we can add on there. And I will use this long skinny piece. And then I have cattails. that are a part of it. Now, what I did with the cattails is I cut the cattails out of Peaceful Pine. Okay. But I don't want the cattails to be Peaceful Pine. So I took a piece of Early Espresso and put adhesive strip on the back. And now I'm going to put the cattails. I'm going to peel it off and put the cattails on the ends. Maybe I should have peeled and then cut. Oh, nope, it's coming off nicely. All right, this one's the straighter one of the two. And then you have cattails. Ta-da! So we're going to learn because this one's got it started down here. Pull it off. Get the good side. And then we'll add it. There. So we can do that. How's that? Pretty good, huh? All kinds of tricks. Got to be tricky here. So actually, I like that. Tuck them behind there. Just because, and to tuck, we're going to use a glue dot. Just because this has got more detail on the outside. All right. Like I said, this is the simple one. None of them are hard. None of them are difficult. Fun folds. This one just was supposed to end here. And I was going to say, ta-da, card number 1. But then I decided to take it one step further. So what's the one step you're saying to yourself? Well, let's go for it. So on the inside, this is too big. On the inside, we're going to wait and cut that one later. We're going to add a piece of cloud cover that is 4 by 1.5, and we're going to add a piece of dock DSP on, and it is 1 1/8 by 3 5/8. We're going to add these two together. And I told you we're going to make an Easel card. That's what I get for looking away and trying to see the comments. All right, we're going to add this to the card. We're going to use dimensionals because we want it to catch. So I'm going to use one of the strips from the side, and then I'm going to grab another strip from the side. Got a little bit too much though. Oops. Okay. Well, this doesn't matter which way it goes, but it's going to go toward the bottom, almost all the way. I am going to actually put it in there so that it's got the normal 1/8 of an inch border around it. All right, and then we're going to fold this piece right on that score line that I told you about. And this will tuck behind, and ta-da! Kind of cool, isn't it? Yes, this is why it's not a fun fold. Or this is why it's not a simple fold, is because Cheryl got a little carried away. and thought, oh, that would be so cute as an easel card with the deck. I know. It's too much fun. All right, so now we need to come up with a sentiment. Oh, I was gonna put some twine around here too. Oh, well, we might just not do that on this card. So a sentiment. I have plans, but I don't. I have bonuses. I could just do something down here because I like not having anything up there. But I could do this. I need to decide what sentiment I want, right? I could do relax. Here's to a new chapter. Have a great birthday. And I'm just digging in my extra stash because I am. Why not, right? Except for it takes a minute. You don't know which direction you're headed. All right. Here's to a new chapter. Let's see if it fits in there because that we could almost have over on the side. Let's just check. Ooh, this one would work too. This one might work really well down here. Okay, let's see what we want. Have a great birthday. Where are my stamps? They are hiding. We have, nope. Here's to the next chapter. That works there. But maybe we'll just have a great birthday. I don't have a lot of men's birthday cards. And you can always use men's birthday cards, right? Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Nancy. All right. Got to have, well, this doesn't have to be a man's birthday card, but it doesn't have to be a woman's either. You know, some of them are just lean more toward the one or the other. All right. Have a great birthday. And grab some ink, and I'm just sticking with black because that's what the front is. Ooh, looks good. Back to our conversation about the ink. They are still selling the tuxedo and the stays on until they run out of their current stock and orders. So we have some time to adjust. Have a great birthday. Maybe this is where I'll put some twine. Maybe it is. All right. Because, you know, twine, it works. It's already beefed up enough, right? Nope. The twine just might not make the cut today. I think I'm going to put it down here. Twine's not going to make the cut today. That's all right. Maybe the next card. And I'm not popping this up. I'm going to lay it flat. And then this one's not getting an anchor. I do have anchors. They are on back order. They're supposed to be back soon. So now, oh, I need the inside. I need to measure how much I need to cut back my card. So 3 3/4. I can do that. Have a great birthday. 3 3/4. I might just leave this inside. Oh no, I think I have I have wishing you a day full of relaxation, happiness, and love. Scalloped blooms. Because this doesn't have a lot to go inside, so I kept this handy. Here's wishing you a day. That works. A book in the middle of nowhere. Buy that. Water. Maybe that's what I should do for my weekend. This is for, yeah, I need it to go this way. Anybody have any big fun? I could stamp some seagulls in the sky. Anybody have fun plans for the weekend? My daughter and daughter-in-law teach in different locations, and today was their final day before summer break, so they are officially done in Montana and North Dakota. Well, our parts of Montana and North Dakota. Kids are always out before Memorial Day weekend. So with it being so early, they're out a little early, it seems, too. So summer break has officially begun in these parts. There we have it. I'm afraid if I stamped up there, I would I'd make a mess. But you know what I have? I have a seagull. Ooh, that's what I can do. I will stamp one and cut it out, and then I will put it in the air. I'm not going to stamp on my card. All right. Black bird. Oh, today was the last day of school in Kansas as well. And at least Nancy's part of the world. Ooh, that inked up really dark. I like that. And I don't want to do 3, so we're just going to do 1. Because we like odd numbers. All right. Piece of Post-it note tape. I'm just going to grab the little one. Hope it cooperates. It's been on its best behavior lately, so we're going to hope it continues. I always get nervous getting it out because some days it doesn't behave itself, and then I don't want you guys to see me stress over it. Get my sandwich right and feed it in. Yay! It's so much lighter. Do you have the big Stampin' Cut and Boss machine, the little one, or both, or neither? Big, little, both, or neither? Oh, yeah. There we go. Right? It just needed a little something. So glue dots for the win on this one. Gives it a little lift. I'm going to use these non-stick scissors. These are tagged in my Amazon store. Yes, I do get a little perk from you shopping from my favorites on there. But, you know, it's like 3 cents. I appreciate if you shop in my storefront, but no buts. But I have to tell you that I do make a little commission. All right, I took it off over the top, so I think that works. All right, this card is done. I don't know what embellishments I would put. Maybe if I think of something as we're working, I'll add something to it. But for now, I don't think it's going to get any embellishments. What do you think? Does it need embellishments? I need to get the color lifter out. I see a spot that I made a mistake. Got the brown out of the lines. It's fixed now. I love those little oopses that you can fix. Card number 1. Ta-da! The easy one. Okay. Card number 2. I'm just going to go with this one. I think. Oh, did I do the wrong paper on that one? I had 2 of these chunks. Nope, I did the right one. Yes. Okay. All right. These are my pieces for my next card. And let's go over some pieces. So this piece is 9 by 4 1/4. It is scored at 1 1/4, 2 1/2, and 5 3/4. Okay. This is 11 by 2 1/2. It's scored at 5 1/2. And then we have some designer series paper. And okay. I forgot to cut the inside, but that's okay. This piece is 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. And this piece is for the fishies. This piece is going to get cut down, but right now it's 3 5/8 by 4. And this piece is 4 by 1. So why I say this piece is going to get cut down is because I wanted to cut on the waves. And the first time I cut it, this is the size I need it, but the first time I cut it, I didn't take into account that I wanted the wave. So we're going to cut the waves. I wanted water looking stuff. And I thought we might put a fish in it. I was having way too much fun with this. And like I said, this isn't even all the projects you can come up with. Ha, ha, ha. There's an infinite amount. But if you want more, Stampin' Cross Country is the way to go. All right, there's my waves. Now, this is for my fish. Let me get my fish. How are we doing on time? Oh, I got rid of my time. Okay, hey, we're doing all right. I have a chair already made that I can use if need be. Otherwise, I can show you how to do it. We'll see how it goes because the next one doesn't have a chair. My last project does not have a chair, at least not at this point. And yes, I know I'm cutting out a fish that doesn't have a tail, but that's okay. That is all right. Because if it's jumping out of the water like that, it doesn't need a tail, right? Okay. This guy maybe doesn't need a head because he's jumping back in the water. So I'm hoping to entice you to join Stampin' Cross Country, as I've told you. So next week's class, I will be featuring the other stamp set from Stampin' Cross Country. It is the Lily of the Valley. I did one card using that stamp set for my mystery stamping this week. And don't forget, if you want the blend tips, If you want the tips, the labels for the end of the blends, you need to subscribe to my emails at craftercheryl.com. They will be a part of the email until the end of the month. And then I'm going to take them out and put something else there. All right, probably need 3 fish. Maybe we'll have one that's whole. Sounds like my husband either has company or is on the phone. He's not a quiet man. He's very loud. And he likes the TV loud. But he's on the phone. And I talk while I fussy cut. Sorry. I just ramble. Ramble. This is the last fussy cutting I have to do. All right. The fish are done. Now I want to be able to get into there. So this is actually part of the take your pick tool. So if you unscrew this end, you can screw in the X-Acto knife. These are part of the extra tips. And so I won't poke myself. I'll put the lid on that. So I have paper piercing mat that I'm going to put under here. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this on there a couple places. Actually, you're not going to get to see the center, but that's all right. You'll be able to see a little bit of it. When you see how this card comes together. I'm just cutting right through my mat. And we'll do one over here. It's about the same level. We'll go here. Now I'm going to have to be careful when I put this together that I don't put glue there. Right? So while we're thinking of it, I am going to put tear and tape on the back. Because tear and tape will work. And when I see the tear and tape, I'll go, oh yeah, don't use glue. There. And there. Okay. Then yeah, okay, it's ready. We're gonna put this back on here. And I think I got all my pieces ready. So let's go ahead and build this card, shall we? All right. Carol has both, but she uses her mini a lot on the machine topic. Nancy has both, the big and the little, but she likes to use the little one too. And Shirley thought my last card was beautiful. Thank you. Got caught up on all the comments. I don't use my mini as much as I use my big one. Probably because I like to cut all the things out I can at one time. I actually have an electric one too when I'm getting ready for classes that I can use sometime. All right. So I folded this in half this way, and I basically just accordion fold. This is our card base. I know, kind of wild, isn't it? All right, and then this piece gets folded in half. Excuse me. I have not got my water in today. Okay, so this is going to get folded in half. Got rid of my ridge. We're going to put the seagulls on this page. This is representing our sky. Then our water is going to get represented back here. And I cut that a little bit. Actually, it's going to be perfect because I don't mind if my water comes up over the top, right? Okay, and this is where I use the tearing tape. This is actually mystery stamping number 58, kinda. And I had it in my head that it would work, but I couldn't remember what number it was. I had to do a little digging. I have not made this card for a long time. I think it was even in a Stampin' Cross Country once upon a time. All right, so there's my water layer. And Shirley has both machines, and she takes her mini when she travels. That's not very straight. You know what? It's fine. Okay. Now, the next piece that we're going to do is we're going to put this piece on. And I can put it in the middle, or I can put it over to the side. Actually, I think I'm going to put it over to the side a little bit. And I'm just going to use tearing tape. I have some itty bitty pieces. That I may as well just use up before I wear them, because that's my MO. I usually end up wearing my leftover pieces because I'm not very good at guessing how long things are when it comes to tearing tape. And I usually end up wearing my Post-it note pieces upstairs too when I'm done crafting. All right. Take that one off. Now, I don't know if I want it all the way over. I want it over most of the way. All right, I might throw a fish out this side. Okay, and then we're going to put this one. Like I said, I forgot to do my middle. There we go. Now you close this and then close this, and it will fit in a standard size envelope, a Stampin' Up! Envelope. So there is the front, kind of. Normally, I would have put the paper on this piece already, but I wanted the chair to sit on something, so we're going to put the boardwalk piece on top of that. Yes. So I am going to use tearing tape because this is kind of going to go over a couple levels. So I want it not to buckle. And I am going to show you how to make that chair because my next card isn't going to take that long. Famous last words. So there's no chairs. So, I mean, it's going to be not going to take that long. All right. So here is my boardwalk piece for my chair to sit on. So boardwalk, birds, sea. And that's the workings of Cheryl's mind. So maybe I should have put my fishes in already. Definitely should have put my fish in earlier. That's all right. I can do it. I can do it. Ah. That one might just be better up here. Okay. And then my fish tail can go in there. What do you think? It's a good day for fishing. And then we have the full fish. Maybe we'll put this guy over here. Maybe we'll have him just sitting. Ah, yeah, that works. And then the tail can go over here wherever I cut. You can't see it. There. I got him in. Yay! 3D fine at its finest, right? I'm going to put some glue dots on them before they escape. Definitely a fisherman card. And again, it does not have to be for a guy. My grandmother and great aunt, her sister, were very good fishermen. Fisherwomen, I should say. And they liked these trout. All right, and I'm going to show you how to make the chair because it's a very important part of this suite, so may as well make the best of it. All right. There's my card so far. All right, here we go. Now we're just going to do the extra stuff besides the fish. All right, we're going to use this one. You don't need a stamp. You need the dies. Let's talk about the dies for a second. So we already used this die. This is the chair die. There's the chair die. There's the bird die. Some people don't know what this die is, and is actually the arms for the chair that is right here. It has two backs that you can use. You can use this back, or you can use this back. And I've seen it put together several different ways. So I've already, let's see here. This is my favorite one, so we're going to do this. This one, you can also turn it upside down and chop this piece off. And I've seen people use it as an end table, like outside for your relaxation at the lake. So let's make a chair. Okay. I'm going to grab a piece of, I thought I had a piece out, but I might have used it already. I'm going to start with crumb cake. That will not be big enough for both. That will be big enough for both. And I'm going to use a blender brush, but I don't remember where I put it. Because like I said, I already made a chair. I wanted to make sure it worked. Now, if you were a brush, oh well, I'll just grab a different one. I'll grab a drink of water. And grab the one I was looking for. See how that works? All right, and then I'm going to grab my pecan pie. And, oh, I got 2 hearts. Thank you so much for the love. I'm taking this and just making it a little bit textured with some color. Now you can do this afterwards, but this is a very delicate piece. So I'm going to do it ahead of time. And I have a score line in here, but that's all right. Then if I want to add a little bit more later, I can. But I don't have to if I don't want to. All right. So I've got a couple little texture on there. I'm going to add more texture with color. And again, I can add even more later, But right now, I'm going to do the majority of it because then like I said, that piece is so delicate. This is our craft white. This is just a dauber. As you can tell, I already used it. And you have to keep this inked pretty well. I don't have it inked very well. But I'm just going to smear some white on here and kind of give it a little bit of a whitewash look also. Because chairs that are outside, as you know, get that worn look. And this is how I create the brown, worn, been out in the sun and the wind and the rain kind of look. I'll show you my other chair. I did it the other way, the other chair. So now we're just going to put these down. Let me see. That line, we'll put that line in a spot that it's not going to matter. There we go. And we'll add our arms. So that is what we need to get on the cut and emboss machine. And I am using my big one because it's just ready to go all the time. And then I don't have to try to see if this fits. Now that back kind of has some thin, really thin places. So I'm going to just crank it back through again because it didn't want to come out real well for my first one. So I'm just going to take that off. Take all my pieces. Put this away. Oh, I didn't use embellishments on my... Oh, this is my second card. I was going to say I didn't use embellishments on my second card either. All right. And then you drop it. It usually comes out. Except for this one. See what I mean? This one doesn't really want to come out very easily. But if you run it back and forth, it does okay. All right. Let me grab the pieces that are not a part of the fun. Those are the arms, the chair, and the back. And you can kind of see it got some of the white on there and some of the brown. We're going to add a little bit more, but we don't have to add as much now. I'm mostly going to go with the white because I can kind of dab. And this will dry. It'll soak into the paper just a little bit more. I love the craft ink for some detail work. Now, we don't have to do the back because that's just part of the frame, but I am going to get in there and get some of this, the arms, under the arms, and on, because you know darn well that that bottom rung is going to have some wear on it. All right, so I didn't have to do as much texturing with that because I had done it before we cut, so I will add a little on this though. Now this piece, see, that's what I mean. You gotta be, that's just gonna give it the more weathered look. That's why I did the coloring ahead of time. Okay, here we go. Now, using these scissors and my tear and tape, I am going to find the end. I don't need it very wide, very long. And if you take your tear and tape and cut it lengthwise. It's just about the right width for this rung back here and this rung right there. So you don't have to try to get little drops of glue on it. All right. Then we're going to take our take your pick tool and pull these off. So slice it in half, and it will show through a little bit, but that's okay. Then this lip right here goes in behind the chair like so. And then you can just lay your chair back, tack it there, and then arrange the pieces on the back where you want it. And then smush. Now, there is some shiny tear and tape behind there, but the easiest way to get rid of shiny is the embossing buddy. And it doesn't matter if a little white powder gets on it because we're trying to age it up a little bit anyway. So if you just rub your embossing buddy over the top of it, it takes the stick right out of the adhesive. And it takes the shine out also. So that's my little tip there. And then you just take your sleeve. So there's our chair. Now these, I told you, were the handles. They just get put on here. You could add a different color if you wanted, but it just makes them look a little nicer. I am going to go ahead and just use a glue dot on that. Actually, I'm going to change my mind. Because this is so narrow, I'm going to take a very, very narrow, a very small piece. And I am again going to slice it up the middle, lengthwise. And these are the scissors that the adhesive does not stick. They are in my Amazon store if you are interested in getting these. We're going to put one piece on the back of this, and it's a little short, so I don't care if it sticks in the middle. I'm going to get the ends. And then that didn't go well. It stuck to my finger. We'll try it. It goes on this front piece here. And if you want to make it like an accent color, you can, but we aren't. I'm not. All right. Well, this is going to just be even more. So I'm going to put a little piece on this armrest. And a little piece on this armrest. I usually use glue dots for this kind of stuff, but tear and tape tonight. And since I didn't need this whole piece, I'm going to stick it under here since that piece came off. Actually, didn't it? Like fell apart. I know. Nobody will ever know. And it was outside, right? So it's weathered. Ta-da! Okay. Then we're going to add. So let's see, where did that piece go? We're going to add this piece here. And this piece here. I do have a little tiny smidge, so I'm just going to poke it to the back. There's our chair. Got a little rustic looking. Doesn't look like it just came from the store. And we're going to put it in our card on our deck. And have the birds flying over. Add some dimensionals on the back. Go this way. That's right. And I should use the little dimensionals, but I have these out, so oh. All right, this one can go on this arm. I didn't know both arms are going to fit under the gulls, but they do. There's that one. And that there. A little off center. And I have some more grain. Ooh, I don't want to cover up my fish. Well, maybe I'll put a cattail there. Behind the deck. So it doesn't. We'll go with that. I'll put some. I'm gonna have to make some more cattails for my next card. That's okay. I have it all ready to go. So might have to have a bird. Lots of little pieces. I'm glad I got some of this done before I went live with you. All right, and glue dot. Are you watching or crafting while I'm hanging out or while I'm doing this? Or what are you up to? While I do this, what are you up to? I'm going to put it behind the deck. And I need my sentiment. All right, let me get my inside piece cut. My inside piece is going to be 3 by 4. By 4. And now we need to decide what it's going to say so we can finish this baby off. I think we're going to make a bird. And I think the bird is going to be Secret Sea. We'll try Secret Sea gull. A Secret Sea gull. Put him down here. Oh yeah, that's a good color for a seagull. All right. That's not the one we're going to cut out. We'll do Here's to a New Chapter. On the inside. There we go. And I love that Secret Sea. That is one of my favorite colors. I hope when we do the color refresh next year that it sticks around and doesn't retire like in colors usually do. There we go. We know we're having a color refresh next year because we get all the ink pads are going to be magnetic next year. Glenda's just watching. Cindy, hi Cindy. Thank you. She just finished her Thursday night Bible study and just watching and sitting back and slowing down. All right. All right. So there's that. Now we need a sentiment of some sort. We could do dad. No, we're not going to do dad. Relax. Today is your day. I'm going to do today is your day. Here's to the new chapter. It could be Father's Day. It could be your birthday. It could be retirement. Today is your day. A little overkill on that, but grab a scrap. Cindy is another one of our Stampin' Cross Country people. I was trying to tell them how much fun Stampin' Cross Country is. All right. Ooh, today is your day. Nope, I think I'm going up high. All right. Today is your day. And then I'm going to just banner. Oh, I have my banner punch. All right. Is this the right size? Actually, I'm just going to, if you put it in your punch, go in the wrong direction. Just get that end in there. It works. You just have to flag it. I kind of went a little too far though. So we're going to try it again. We're just going to turn it over because that's how we roll today. This is only card number 2, Cindy. My easy card turned into a fun fold, so now they're all fun folds. Today is your day. And I could add some linen thread. I cut some off earlier. What did I do with it? I have an idea. But we're just going to go this way. I'm going to go under the dock. I need more over here. I need it under the legs. These are hard cards to, there we go. Okay, now it'll work. Okay. There's that. I'm going to tie a knot, not a bow. I'm going to tie a knot at this point. I need my tweezers for my tweezer trick. Okay. Now it's, and because I'm not going to use a spot underneath here for anything, right? This is the perfect spot for an anchor. These are the ones that are on back order. I don't know when they're going to be back. You get 20 in a cup though, so. I wanted to remember to use it on one, and I did. I'm so proud of myself. All right. Okay, I'm going to get a flosser because they're all the rage. And because... So we're going to use a flosser and put the twine through. And then my poor old eyes don't want to see that hole tonight with all this light. So there we go. We're just threading on an embellishment now. Ta-da! And now we'll tie a bow. I know I probably should do like some fancy sailor knot, but it's going to be a bow. A little bow. Maybe. There we go. It worked. Now I can drop that down a little. And there's our card. Oh, I forgot to put the words. Today is your day. And I have some ridges. I don't like ridges. And grab. There we have it. Today is your day. Here's to a new chapter. Ta-da! With the fish hanging out. Kind of fun. All right, and you got to see how to do that chair and how to rough it up and everything. All right, I have to clear off a few things for my next fun fold. So, yeah. 3 fun folds. You guys are getting spoiled. No, I'm just kidding. I try not to overwhelm people. I like to give them, you know, like the easy and then the harder, but this class just did not go that way. So you get 3, not hard fun folds, just 3 fun folds. All right. Oh, this was my other chair. See, it turned out too. Who knows? Maybe we'll use a chair in this one too. Okay. So this one, you need 2 pieces of paper that measure 5.5 by 4 1/4, not hard. And they are scored on both ends at 1/2 and 1. 1/2 and 1. Yep. And we're going to fold these back accordion style and fold it back again. So that's where we're going with this. I'm not going to do this one right now because I need to do something different with that one. I'm going to explain a couple of things. So this is one of those panels from that sheet of paper that I showed you. And the first time I cut it, this was going to be empty. And I decided that I didn't want it empty. So if you cut this panel at 4.5 by 4, then I'm going to take off. This was a lot easier to think about earlier. I'm going to take off a 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. Maybe 3/4 inch. See, now you got me thinking. No, I'll take 1/2 inch off. So I'm going to take 1/2 inch off both sides. So 1/2 off this edge and 1/2 off of this edge. Now we have our center panel just right. Okay, that should be where we're headed. All right, now this piece and this piece are going to be folded back. So we want this piece on there to get glued and this piece here to get glued. So when it comes together, you can see the whole scene. All right. So we're going to do that on this one in a minute. Right now, we're going to put this one on, and we're going to go only on the edge because we have to do a little die cutting. And I didn't want to have to deal with that one already being folded, but I already showed you. So, all right. So I'm going to use tear and tape on my edges. Okay. And take this off. Oh. How's that new grandbaby, Cindy? If you're still in there. All right, now I gotta look where I'm lining it up. It's harder to see. Ooh, I don't want it to the end. Maybe I do want it to the end. It's fine. There. Okay. I forgot it wasn't going to the bottom. It's good. Nobody will ever. Okay, now we're going to not emboss this. We're going to die cut on this. We're going to make a Shadowbox card. All right, these two pieces we need. This is going here, kind of centered. And that's why we put the glue only around the edges. All right. Yeah, I'm getting long tonight. Although I feel okay because I watched Stampin' Up's class today. They had a class. They did 4 projects and it took them, I think, I stopped watching after a while. It was, I think they went like 3.5 hours for 4 projects. Granted, they made the envelopes to go with the cards, but oh my gosh, that's a lot. That's a long time. All right. And that is the 4th biggest arches die. So if you start small and you go bigger, it's number 4. If you start big and go smaller, it's number 6. So there you have it. And apparently some of the tape was already on there. So we're just going to let it be. Not a big deal. Might actually add more in there. But the tape didn't have to chew through, or the die didn't have to chew through it. That's fine. Okay, next up, we need to add these pieces. And I think I'm just going to use a little runny glue. This goes here. And we want it matchy-matchy. And this piece goes here. And we want it matchy-matchy. As far as like where it lines up with this other piece. All right, so that is your front of your card. Now, the back of your card is going to be the same. But we're going to sandwich it. And the fact that these decided to stay together is not a big deal. We're just going to add a little glue and let them stay together forever. Makes the card a little thicker, but it won't be a big deal. We're going to put some dimensionals on the back. And this is going to be the interior of your card, but I want it to pop a little. All right, so now that I have that all together, we're going to line these up just right. And we're going to put this window back in. And it should be close to perfect. So that is the interior of our card right there. All right, now this we're going to fold and fold, fold and fold. So when you put it together, it looks like that. Won't that be pretty? All right, so now we need to just jazz it up. All right, I was going to try to use this. Actually, we might use this. This might be our back. This might just be our back piece. All right, before we forget that, we're going to put it on the back. You know what? We're not going to get that excited because I just realized this bottom piece right here might be perfect for something. And actually the top piece might also. Because we have to use one of these, has to use the word relax. This looks like a great place to relax. This is too big for relax. And that's too little for relax. But this would be good for today is your day. There we go. We could put relax on the back. Now I have some more cattails and some more grasses. I did not get the cattail tops cut, but I can do that really fast. I have the paper already for it. So let's do some dry layering. We might do today is your day at the top. I like that. Today is your day. Now these edges look like they should be snipped off. Kind of have an angle to them. That's easy enough to accomplish. Let's add that. I'm just whacking off a piece of some little ones from a kit. I love this blue stripe paper, but I didn't use it for anything. Today is your day. It doesn't want to center. Okay, so there's that. And then we can have some grasses and some cattails. Oh, I love this. Okay. Actually, I think I'm going to put the ends together. And then we'll just build from the inside and the outside. So to do this, I am going to use the, actually, I'm going to use the Stampin' Seal Plus. The runny glue would work because it's nice and strong, but I'd have to find a way to clamp it together. I don't have to worry about clamping it with this. But I do have to remember to get it right the first time. All right. See, each glue has a different job. Yeah, I'm not trusting it to line up. Still not trusting it to line up. Maybe I would do better if I had it go this way. The way it's going to go in the envelope. You just smush it down and then pop it up. And I didn't have to wait for glue to dry. I like it. I really, really like it. And I don't have a back for this one. So I have to do a back. This back will be 3 1/4 by 4. 3 1/4 by 4. Oh, look at that. I do have a back for it. And we're going to do relax. And might give it a bird. Actually, I might give it some weeds. All right, I think I'll have to do the cattail tips, and I am about done with this card as well. Love, love, love. I'm having a craft-a-lunch, so it looks like all the pieces are starting to fall. I know. I could do a bird here too. All right. So these can go here. I know it didn't follow the directions real well, but it's good. It's all good. And then we have a tuft here. Could put one inside. I'm going for glue dots. I have a shiny piece I could get out my embossing buddy. And I might have to. There we have that. Oh, I have another piece of green or grass. And then we'll do some bird. We'll do a bird. some cattails. I have a scrap. I can do a bird. I can do 3 birds. We're going to do 2 in the sky and 1 on the ground. And this was black, I think. No, actually, I think it was Secret Sea. And then I'm going to do the other kind of bird. Hopefully I can get them all chopped out. That's on my cut list. Yeah. Isn't it cool? Yes, to make the little scene pieces. All right, I need some cattail tips. My piece is right here. It's an early espresso with adhesive sheet on the back. And I need to do my birds. So I think we might try the little one again. Feeling lucky, girls and boys. Feeling lucky. All right, I need a bird. And a bird. And cattails. So I'm going to do this one first. And this one at the same time. Do you have seagulls where you live? Growing up, I always thought seagulls were always by the sea, but we live close to or near a large lake, and we have seagulls here. Sometimes they're over at our dam. So yeah, that was just silly me growing up in a town in Montana. I didn't know they had seagulls away from the sea. Like I said, the gal that we saw at on stage that did a demonstration with this set, she called them garbage chickens. So that's what I think of when I think of them now. All right. And I still need your positive thoughts, positive vibes. Or using my mini. This is my 3rd mini because I fought so much with the others that I would send them back, and then I would fight again, and I would send them back. And finally I decided, okay, it must be me. So everybody else loved them. And so the blue one and I have gotten along a lot better. Shirley has seagulls. Yep, they're pain if you throw French fries. They do like French fries. We even had a stamp set a few years back that had seagulls and French fries. All right, they turned out. Don't have to do those anymore. And we might do one more. And this seagull kind of sort of turned out good enough. And this one turned out wonderful. I'm going to run this one through, so I may as well do another set of words, Cheryl, words. Cattails. There's the word I need. And then I am done for the night. And I need cattails. I have been in the craft room most of the day. I just came down here and did the class at 2 with Stampin' Up and have not left. So I am ready to go eat some supper. Although I'm not very hungry. Kind of snacked a bit earlier. I'm a popcorn girl, so I had some popcorn earlier. As you can tell, if you were here earlier and I showed you the paper pumpkin. Actually, that popcorn was from another time. Who are we kidding? That wasn't from today. Still don't know how it got in the paper pumpkin box, but the dog will like it when she comes down. She likes to have popcorn with me. Okay, we got some stuff to throw away and to finish. So I know we went a little long tonight, but I hope it was worth it. Fun cards. Fun folds. Oh, I've got to get my garbage pile and my good pile away from each other. And what else do I have here? I think that might be all, maybe. Get my tear and tape over. I might not tear and tape my take your. Oh my word. My adhesive sheet. There weren't any cattails in that piece, were they? Nope. All right, let's build a couple cattails and finish this card off. I love the cattails. A friend of mine, my mom's friend growing up, she used to go out and get them, and then I think she put hairspray on them, and then she would use them in her house, like decorate them with in her house all for a long time because they were preserved because they had hairspray all over them. They didn't fall apart and get all fuzzy. We have cattails over at our dam. When we have water over there, we're worried about our water situation here. And I think there's a lot of places in the United States that it kind of had weird winters and not very wet springs. So there's one. We've got our birds. And these will do all of them so we don't lose them. This is when Cheryl can't not do 3 fun folds. But if you're on the replay, you can fast forward. If you're not on the replay, God love you. Thanks for sticking it out with me. There's 4 of you still left. And thank you for your likes, comments, shares, all the fun stuff that you help me out with every week. That's why we're getting so close to a couple milestones. I'm excited for that, even though I'm long-winded some nights. I will try to make next week's be faster. But this set just warranted a longer video, right? Just nod your head. Right, Cheryl. It did. I have a book I need to finish reading. Book club's coming up, and I don't have my book read. Actually, I listen to books. I don't read them. When I'm crafting, I just sit in here and work and listen to books. But today I will listen to the class from Stampin' Up. All right. Ooh, what time is it? Oh my gosh, 2 hours. That's too long. All right. Next time, just say no, Cheryl. Just say no, Cheryl. We got an extra one of those. Let's put this together. So glad I did some of the work ahead of time, or we'd be here for 3 hours. All right. I'm just using some glue dots, kind of balling them up. Cattails, that's not my best, but it will be fine. Cattails. And I should have put some of those cattails on and go in the other direction, but oh well. Too late. It will look like the wind is blowing, and it probably is. So this one I'm going to tuck under. And then we have a bird. I'm going to put the bird right here. And then I'll put these inside, and we're done. Whew. Thank you for hanging out. Oh, Glenda says different parts of Kansas are under drought conditions. Yeah, they're nasty. And hot dogs in their natural habitat. Oh, that's funny. Let's see here. Well, good. I'm glad you learned some tricks tonight, Shirley. This card has been fun also. Actually, I might have it go flying there. There we go. I don't know that we're going to put any embellishments on this one either. So there is this fun card. It's a shadow box, as you can see. And so I said, there's that one. Card number 2. So they weren't hard fun folds, but they were time consuming. Card number 2, and I got an anchor on there with our little fishies. And then card number 1, which was supposed to be the simple card. And it kind of was the simpler card, but yeah, let's put them in order. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much for crafting with me and your patience tonight with all my fun folds, because they turned out really, really cute. But a little time consuming. But thanks for bearing with me. And as always, thanks for your likes, comments, shares, everything. I love the fact that you spend time with me and spend time with the rest of us. So thank you for crafting with me. Have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend if you are in the United States. If you're not in the United States, have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you here next Tuesday for some mystery stamping. Have a great night. Bye-bye.